We're here at North Pond, where the Lincoln Park Conservancy helps the Chicago Park District steward the natural areas that are full of birds and plants that are native to the region and highlight Chicago's nature for the people of Lincoln Park. The Lincoln Park Conservancy helps to manage North Pond and the Alfred Caldwell Lily Pool, and today we're going to start at North Pond and make our way over to the lily pool. We'll probably see some birds, we'll talk about some native plants, and today will be a day in the life of a park steward. This is where we keep the golf cart. So what we're going to do right now is cut back last year's plant material and rake it out. This is an important thing to do because all the plants that are in here, of which there's a lot of good diversity, will be smothered by all of this plant matter from last year, what we call thatch or detritus. And so we will cut it back with our nifty hedge trimmer. Removing last year's plant material, the detritus or thatch, from these meadow areas at North Pond is important because it allows the smaller plants, of which there's a lot of diversity, to have a successful spring by not having to push through a deep layer of thatch that smothers them out and blocks the sun and water from getting to them. Our native plants are adapted to landscape fire, which was a common practice by the Native Americans over the last several tens of thousands of years, and the plants have actually adapted to not having thatch around, and so that means that they are not very good at getting up through and pushing through last year's plant material because usually it would have been burned off. So we do this as a surrogate for prescribed fire because we can't always get a prescribed fire every year here at North Pond. One of the things we like to do while we're out in the park is to keep track of the timing of different native plants. And so here we have nannyberry, one of our native viburnum shrubs that has beautiful flowers and tasty fruits for birds later in the season. So we can see that this is starting to bud and will flower in a few weeks. Here on a windy first day of April, nice and cold in Chicago, native wildflowers are getting active for the first time of the year. We have pen sedge, our common oak sedge, starting to green up and grow. And we also have one of our first blooms of the season. And here's our very first little tiny eastern bluebell flower. So these bluebells will be a nice show of blue flowers with nectar for emerging bees in the spring. Here we are at the Alfred Caldwell Lily Pool, the other site where the Lincoln Park Conservancy helps manage the garden. Part of park stewardship is picking up trash, and here near the lake it's very windy, and just about every week there's some trash to pick up. The wind is a constant force here by the lake in Lincoln Park, and sometimes things blow off their fastenings, so it's not uncommon to have to put stuff back up. Really, park stewardship is so much more than just plants. This is where we keep trees and plants that we plan to plant in the park with volunteers and for our memorial tree program at the Lincoln Park Conservancy at North Pond. If you join Eco Stewards volunteer days every other Thursday and every first Saturday of the month, you can use this back gate with me to take care of the lily pool.